and that number is 1902.
Okay. Well, you already know 1902 is on the Phoenix timeline. It's a Phoenix year. 1902 is a very anomalous year. There are people absolutely convinced, like Charles Fort said it was 1902, that other dark age. And Charles Fort set out about 30 years after that to show the world that looks really weird stuff happened in 1902. But he was laughed at by the scientific community, but he was using scientific reports and the reports of ship captains and media all over the world when he's putting stuff together. Now, what he didn't do was what I did. I carried the work further and showed that something very anomalous happened in 1902, such as 1902 happens to be the foundation date for thousands of very large stone buildings, courthouses, government buildings. 1902 all over North America. 1902 happens to be the beginning of many organizations, companies, and when you research those companies and the other companies that developed out of them in 03, 04, 05, 06, you will find out that most of today's Fortune 500 companies all stemmed their origin, or the origin of their umbrella or founding company, is 1902. So many anomalies from 1902, but in my research on the Phoenix phenomenon, I have found that 1902 began technically the last days. It began I call it the Giza course calendar. 1902 began the individual years of the Great Pyramid leading up to the return of the chief cornerstone. All 203 levels of blocks on the Great Pyramid. 1902 is the foundation. 1903 is year one, then year two, year three, going all the way up 203 levels of blocks to a year that was isolated by Nostradamus, which is the year 2105. That is the year in the Annus Mundi calendar of 5,999. There's a missing year, but we're to expect that missing year because 5,999 is 1 year short of 6,000. Does it mean the world is 6,000 years old? Hell no. It means that a certain calendar was started in ancient times from a massive reset. And that calendar's 6,000th year is the year 2106, which is the 204th year since 1902, which fulfills the geometry of the Great Pyramid. It is the chief cornerstone number. The chief cornerstone, the stone the builders rejected.
Right? It's
the return of the cornerstone.
Okay.
Yes, and all four sloping, the apophthegm for all four sloping sides of the Great Pyramid are at 51 degrees. 51 times 4 is 204. The geometry is satisfied, it's fulfilled. And this also fulfills the last days prophecies of 2nd Esdras, where it says 4 divine angels appeared and gave unto mankind 204 books. You got to understand, those levels of blocks, the levels of courses of blocks of the Great Pyramid are containers of knowledge. The Great Pyramid was once considered the largest book in the world. All 4 faces were covered with writings before the casing stones were removed. So it's 1902 begins that timeline. I believe 1902 begins the actual harvest, the soul harvest. We have images and prophecies of souls being quarantined in the last days. And they're asking God, hey man, we know the time is short. When are you going to do this? When are you going to make this happen? But there's a definitive date in the future because he's coming. The idea is he comes to set the captives free. Okay, that indicates that there are prisoners. You understand? There's the language of a construct is everywhere through the Bible, everywhere. It's gone through many, many redactions. It's gone through a lot of Jewish filtering. It's done all that. But the core language of souls being confined in a construct by a false God. Remember, this world is a product of the God of this world, not of the oversoul. This is a prison. And the chief cornerstone, the stone the builders rejected, is the fulfillment of that prophecy of the one who comes to set the captives free. This is also why I don't believe in the soul trap phenomenon that a lot of people talk about. This again has pissed off a lot of people on YouTube because I'm not buying into their narrative. So they don't even contact me, they don't even want to talk to me, and that's fine. But I don't believe in the soul trap. I don't believe you die and you see the white light, and as long as you, whatever, all that poltergeist stuff that entered the narrative with the movie Poltergeist. This whole white light stuff, I'm not buying into it. It's not, the oversoul is never going to create a situation where you've lived a totally good life all your life, and then all of a sudden, after you die, your eternal security or your fate hinges on you making a decision. It's crazy. The whole concept is crazy to me. No, you're stuck here. You're doing life sims. You're doing life sims until the construct collapses and you're free to move on. Yeah, I just can't buy into the whole. If you go to the light, you're trapped. It's a trap. You're getting cycled back in. You become loose. Now an alien species is sucking out your soul energy. I'm not buying all that. That's fear talking. That's fear talking.
You might
the oversoul would have never put us in that position.
I couldn't agree more. You might be